Good morning, y'all. Welcome back to Apron Strings. My cucumbers are doing really good out in the garden, and so today I'm going to be pickling some cucumbers, but I'm going to do it a little bit different. I'm going to ferment some dill pickles. It's easy to do, and they taste just like my Aunt Audrey's garlic dill pickles. So I'm going to bring y'all to the butcher block, and we're going to get it started, and I'll show you what I'm doing. The first thing that I have to do is make my brine. And to make the brine, you put a tablespoon of salt into a quart of water. And you're going to have enough brine to cover your cucumbers, garlic, dill, and all that you put in your jar. And you have to keep everything down under the brine for it to ferment. So I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of salt because I've measured 2 quarts of water into this pitcher. Let me get my measuring spoon. I had to go out today and find me some grape leaves because that puts tannin and it helps with the pickling process somehow. And I had cleaned my backyard and we cut down all the muscadine vines, so I had to walk I'm in the country, so it didn't take me long to find some grape leaves, muscadine leaves. I want to make, this is Himalayan pink salt. Doesn't dissolve as quick as Morton's table salt, but doesn't have any of the fillers in it. It'll probably settle, and I'll have to do that again. I've got my cucumbers washed. I'm just going to bring them over here to Mr. Butcher Block. And bring my jars and my garlic and my dill, and we'll get these pickles made. And then I think I'm going to ferment me some carrots with jalapenos and garlic in them. I love them. So I'll bring y'all along if I do that. We'll just do it all in this one video. I'm getting me some garlic peeled. Because I want garlic in my dill pickles. When I was younger growing up, Daddy didn't have a garden. So where I'd get homemade dill pickles was at his sister's, my Aunt Audrey, that y'all have heard me talk about. She was the best cook in the whole world. I learned a lot from her. And then Daddy started growing a little garden. When I was a kid, Daddy roughnecked, and he wasn't home to where he could tend to a garden. He worked. Sometimes he had to stay away from home if the rig was, too far to drive. And so we didn't have a garden at the house. But in later years, Daddy went to work in Houston at Southwest Fabricating and Welding. Had weekends off. It was like a gift from the good Lord. And my daddy was home, and I was a daddy's girl. I was glad my dad was home. And so he had a little garden by our house, and he grew vegetables, and he made the same dill pickles that Aunt Audrey made. So I saw firsthand how to make dill pickles like Daddy did. Now they would take a mixture of vinegar and water. I think it was 2 to 1, but I don't remember if it was 2 vinegars, 1 water or what. Bring it to a boil on the stove, and they would put the garlic and the pickle, the cucumbers and the dill in their jar and pour that boiling liquid over it and let it seal it. And they didn't even water bath it. They turned it on its head and let it seal. When it cooled, they turned it back over, and you had to let them wait 2 or 3 weeks or a month, and then they were ready to eat. But this is another method that tastes the same to me, but the additional value of this is there's no heat involved, and you let it ferment a few days on the counter. And you know the color of the rind on a bought pickle is a dark, like olive green. As they ferment, these are going to turn a darker green color, and you'll know that the process is working. And the juice off of these pickles is loaded with probiotics, as will be the pickle, because it'll have the juice on it. And it puts the good bacteria back into your guts. If you have, I've been told that if you have food poisoning, if you'll take the juice off fermented vegetables, a couple of tablespoons every hour or 2, it'll take care of your stomach problems. So I like to keep fermented food around. When I don't have it, I go to Costco and buy the sauerkraut that's in the cooling section that hasn't been heated, and it's fermented and it has the same food value. And I try to eat something with fermented in it, the fermented foods every day. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to slice one jalapeno because I want some peppers in mine, and I'm not seeding it. I'm just going to put the whole pepper in there. I'm probably going to do a couple of jars of pickles. I wish I had a half-gallon jar, and I do, but I'm not going to go looking for it right now. I'm just going to chop the garlic up a little bit. Okay, let me get some quarts over here, and I'll slice some pickles or chop them or chunk them or whatever I decide to do, and we'll get them in. Another thing, if you're growing cucumbers and you miss some and let them get too big, it's not good, because your vines, that tells your vines, well, we need to quit making them, they don't want them. So I've started picking them when they were really smaller, because I want to be sure I don't miss them, and I want my vines to keep producing. I just learned that this year. So see, you never get too old to learn something new. Now I like wide mouth jars. They're my favorite. I'm going to put some peppers, not a lot, but some, in each jar, and I'm going to put some dill in each jar. Get down in there. I don't need that stem, I don't guess. And then I will push all of that aside. And I'm just going to cut some cucumbers. I think I'm just going to do thick slices this time. You know what, normally I rub that in. That's not bitter. That's it, takes the bitterness out. But that wasn't bitter, and I didn't rub the end of it. Don't mean it doesn't. It's kind of soft on the end. A little bit more garlic. I don't want them to get them too garlicky, but I want them to have some garlic in them. I might fit a little bit more in there, but I have a bunch more over there to use. I'll have to do something with them. I want to make some bread and butter pickles, and I think that's going to be on the list. Okay, I'm just going to pour my brine in. Find the grape leaves here. I'm going to rinse them off. I hadn't done that yet. And I'm going to put grape leaves down in there. Now they say if you don't have grape leaves, you can use a tea bag. It's the tannin that's in them that does something. Get in there. And then when you get them fermented, you can take the grape leaves out. Show y'all what I'm using. These are called pickle pipes. And they sit on the top of the lid, and they have a little hole in the top, and that way as the fermentation happens, the gases escape through the little lid. Otherwise, if you use a regular lid, every day you have to undo it and burp it to let the pressure out that's built up. These are mason tops. They make them for wide mouth and narrow mouth jars. and it holds your stuff down under the brine. Just makes it easier. So I'm using these today. Here's the pickle pipe box. And here's, let me get it where they won't spill out, the mason tops. And there's 4 in the package that I got. So that holds that down, put that on, and it just takes a regular ring to hold that in place. Now all I'm going to do is set my pickles over here on the counter and let them ferment, and I'll show y'all. Here's what it looks like. Got the little lid on it, and it'll just bubble away and make me some pickles. Okay, y'all, I'm going to do a 2nd quart of pickles, but I'm not going to make y'all watch that. But I'll be back in just a little bit and we'll do some carrots. Here's my 2nd jar of pickles. I'm going to put over there on the counter and let them ferment a few days, and I'll show y'all. Okay, my carrots are organic, and I would not technically have to peel them, but I think they look nicer with the peeling off, so I'm peeling mine. For the chickens, y'all. I thought my little hen house was secure. I went out there yesterday morning and something had found a way to dig in where one of the boards on the inside, the bottom framework, had rotted and the wire was loose, and I didn't realize it, and it pushed under that and went in and killed one of my chickens. And I think it got the one that's not Easter egger. I have 2 that look like Easter eggers, and I'm not sure which lays brown and which lays Easter egg. So now I have 3 hens, and I'm just sad because the poor little things, when they dig into the, I have a coop inside of a pen, but the coop is hardware cloth, and I can shut the door at night, and I've always felt like they were perfectly safe. I'm rethinking my thinking. But Josh came over, the adopted grandson from behind me, came over and poured concrete, Quickcrete, made a trench and filled it with Quickcrete and tried to secure it, so hopefully I took care of it. But my poor little hen, I know it's the cycle of life, but I wish they would go eat something else that I didn't know about. Probably a coon. We've got Josh's game camera set up on their property. They got 50 acres or so back behind us. And he said sometimes on his game camera he'll have 30 coons around his deer feeder. So we've got an abundance of coons in the woods around us. The land here, the lay of the land, ends at the east fork of the San Jacinto River. It's on down and around below us. But that territory is just perfect for all kinds of wildlife. There's deer, there's coons, there's possums, there's foxes, coyotes. There's all kinds of wildlife. So, but I'm pretty sure that was a coon. Had to be something smaller to be able to go through the hole it went through. And it took that chicken back out that little hole. There was feathers in there, but there was no chicken anywhere. So I don't know. I just know that coons are cute, but I don't like them. If I didn't have chickens, I'd like them. But I have chickens, and they like chickens, and I don't want them to like my chickens. Y'all get the picture? Okay, we're making healthy fermented carrots. Using my Cutco knife that Anna and Glenn sent me, and they cut like butter. I just love them. Well, I think I got room for one more. Jordan's graduating, and I graduated, and our church graduation party is Sunday night after church for the graduates. So I'm having to get stuff together to do his table. Got a friend that's Cindy. Y'all heard me talk about Cindy. She's just a decorator on wheels. I can copy. I can't dream stuff up. I don't have that artistic ability. Well, she's the dream upper. So I borrowed some stuff from her that she's used for her grandkids. And I'll go Saturday evening and get his table ready. Maybe some more. I think so. While I'm at it, I might as well fill it up. Now I'm going to be doing another video, and I'm going to give y'all a heads up. If you like, years ago we would go down on South Main in Houston to El Chico, and it was wonderful back then, Mexican food. And they would bring to the table a little dish with onions, jalapenos, and carrots in it. Man, I loved that. And you couldn't buy it anywhere. The only place you could get it was at the Mexican restaurant. Well, I found a way to put up some vegetables like that, and it tastes very similar to what that tasted like. So I'm going to do a video on putting up the carrots, jalapenos, and onions, kind of like they had them at El Chico when I was 18 years old. See, memories, the reason it's important to make memories is because they last a long time. See how long that memory has lasted with me? Now theirs were hot. And the ones I'm going to make are going to be seeded. Okay, this is the same process. I'm going to put the brine on it. And come back here. Just like a mean young an onion. And I'm going to put the pickle top on it, and I'm going to let these ferment on the counter. Tell you what you do when they don't change colors and all, even on the pickles, like after 3 or 4 days, if you think they may be ready, get you one out and taste it. And if it's like you want it, then go ahead and put it in the icebox, and they'll keep several months in the icebox. I've kept stuff 9 months in there and ate out of it because it's fermented and it's safe and good. So let's put the brine on the carrots. Get me a mason top and a pickle pipe. The pickle pipes come 4 to the container. Well, get in there. I'll have to find a ring for it. Y'all hang on, I'll be back. Okay, I went and found me a ring, so I'm just going to screw it down. And I've got this ready to put over there with pickles. I'll have some pretty colors on the counter, then I'll have some pretty food to eat. Okay, I'm going to get all this cleaned up, try to get this video uploaded, and then I'm going to start on the jalapenos, carrots, and onions and canning some of them. I probably won't actually water bath them. I'm just going to do a jar or 2 because that's all the jalapenos I've picked from the garden right now, and I'll eat them long before they would ruin. So, I got Orkin coming today to spray the corners of my house, keep all the little bugs away, and he's going to spray for mosquitoes, and they assured me that it wouldn't hurt my pollinators, and I've still seen my pollinators around, but I hadn't been eaten up with mosquitoes, so that's good. We had horrible thunderstorms last night and got some rain. We're supposed to have some more straight line winds, but thank God they haven't come to my area yet, and we are expecting thunderstorms, strong thunderstorms tomorrow, so I don't know what's going on with this weather, but I'm ready for regular weather. I don't like the strong winds and all of that. It's kind of scary. I'm going to end this talking to y'all about my usual. You need to stock your pantry a little bit. There's people that's without lights around here a week at a time. And what if you didn't have anything in your pantry to eat that you could fix for your family? You need to think about that. It's not just people, you know, that's crazy thinking, oh, we're not going to have anything forever. It's just common sense. You need to have some extra stuff on hand because The trees may be down. That's what's happened around here. You couldn't get to the store. The stores don't have electricity. When April was little, she called it lightricity. You don't have any electricity, you can't go shop. So have some staple stuff in your pantry that you can fix if you have a gas stove or on a little burner outside, or peanut butter and jelly and stuff that you can just pull out and make a meal with. That's important. Stock your pantry, be a little bit ahead, be on top of the game, because we don't know what's coming. I told y'all before, they're predicting us a big hurricane season, and I'm pleading with the good Lord to just keep them out in the ocean. We don't need them, but we never know. So make some preparations. And while you're preparing for the natural man's food, do some preparation for your spiritual man's food. Talk to the good Lord. Walk uprightly before Him. Don't be a sinner. Do what's right. Please the Lord. You know what? We can attain any goal on this earth that we want to attain or that we have the ability to attain. Don't matter a hill of beans. Everybody's going to die and be put 6 foot under. Everybody. That area of life is level. You're going to die. And after death, what you accomplished on this earth, worldly wise, it's not going to matter. All that's going to matter then is, what was your relationship with God? Did you get your life ready? Did you make your heart clean? Were you saved? Because there's only 2 places you're going to go after you die. That's heaven or hell. So think about it and make your choice. Me, I'm making preparations to go to heaven. I hope y'all do the same thing. The good Lord bless and keep you. And I'll be back here pretty soon with some pickled jalapenos and carrots and onions. And it's good.